Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
West Fargo, and Moorhead Public School students will get a day off tomorrow because of impending weather conditions. They headline a growing list of schools that have decided to take no chances.
Others are opting to delay the start of school tomorrow, and we're also getting businesses that have decided to close or wait before opening their doors. For the very latest, we invite you to visit Valley News Live app or go to valleynewslive.com.
To find out how bad it will be and when it kicks off, let's check in with Hutch, who has our No Wait weather planner. Hutch, we're all ears.
Yeah, thanks so much, you guys. The timeline has not changed. Snow is actually beginning up to the north, and overnight we'll see that snow spread from the northern valley to the south. And then the wind really picks up during the overnight hours, mainly after 2 a.m. Over 50-mile-per-hour gusts will be possible, 1 to 4 inches of snow. Blizzard conditions first thing in the morning will be at their worst. Then everyone impacted by wind and brutal cold the rest of the day. Radar showing the snow getting started in the Devil's Lake Basin and up in northeast North Dakota at this time. And the forecast for the snow is as we go through the overnight towards daybreak, it will be moving through, and that morning rush hour will be the worst with conditions horrible. Here's those winds gusting upwards of 50 miles per hour spreading through the valley and not really relenting until the afternoon. There's your blizzard warning. Grand Forks through Fargo and points south. We have a wind chill warning where the coldest of the air will be up in the northern valley first thing in the morning. Hour by hour details on how this storm impacts the rest of your day in a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Hutch.
The North Dakota Department of Health is actively monitoring 3 people who have recently returned to the state from China.
The people are currently distancing themselves from the public as the department keeps a close eye. Valley News Team's Katie Opperly explains what local officials are doing to keep you safe.
3 people have returned to North Dakota from China after possibly coming into contact with the coronavirus.
So people who had traveled to mainland China but not through Hubei province would fall into that medium risk. So we're just monitoring them just to make sure that they don't have symptoms.
On a daily basis, the state health department is checking to see if they are showing any of the symptoms associated with the virus: fever, cough, difficulty breathing, or sore throat.
The goal of monitoring is to reduce the risk or prevent the spread of possible coronavirus within the community.
Nisa Myers stresses that these people are not under investigation, but they are being monitored and were asked to avoid any public places.
All people still in North Dakota that we are monitoring are asymptomatic, so they don't have symptoms. We're just doing this as an additional level of precaution.
The Department of Health is not advising any additional precautions for community members at this time, but they are asking people to follow CDC advice and avoid traveling to China. In Fargo, Katie Opperly, Valley News Live.
If you do develop symptoms, health officials say it may be difficult to know if it's coronavirus or another respiratory illness, so they advise you to call your healthcare provider and avoid contact with other people.
Cass County Social Service inspectors have again found issues with the West Fargo Daycare Center. Tiny Town closed last August after its owner had her license revoked for improper discipline and being short-staffed. It reopened in November under her husband's name. Inspectors have since showed up and found some more problems, such as no director being present and for not having a person qualified to be supervisor.
I didn't realize it was that bad. And knowing that things have not changed, I felt like somebody has to be a voice for the kids.
Tiny Town was given 20 days to fix this issue, which they agreed to do. Several other former employees tell us they've filed new complaints with Cass County Social Services regarding Tiny Town.
State and industry officials say North Dakota's oil production may peak within 5 years as companies finish drilling the most prolific portions of the state's oil patch. Mineral Resources Director Lynn Helms told lawmakers that about 20% of drilling activity is now outside of the core areas of the state's oil-producing region. It's estimated production would peak at about 1.8 million barrels daily if prices hold in the next few years.
Senator Bernie Sanders is holding on to a small lead as the results continue to come in from the New Hampshire Democratic primary.
For Minnesota's U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar, she sits in 3rd place and could gain some much-needed momentum in the Granite State. Skylar Henry has more from Manchester.
As the first results started to come in, Senator Bernie Sanders pulled out in front of the New Hampshire Democratic primary race.
We have an agenda that speaks to the needs of working families all across this country.
Former South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg and Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar are battling it out for second place.
Hello, America. I'm Amy Klobuchar, and I will beat Donald Trump.
About half of the voters who participated in the First in the Nation primary said they waited until the last few days to decide on a candidate.
New Hampshire's are pretty diehard voters. We really care about who's in office.
Electability is a key point. Exit polls show more than 60% of voters say they prefer a nominee who can beat President Trump to those they agree with on major issues.
Senator Elizabeth Warren and former Vice President Joe Biden are well behind the pack. Biden already left the state for a rally in South Carolina.
Look, we're going to be back. We're going to be back in New Hampshire. We're going to be back there to defeat Donald Trump in November.
The Democratic field will be a little smaller going forward. Andrew Yang and Colorado Senator Michael Bennet both suspended their long shot campaigns. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Bedford, New Hampshire.
The last time New Hampshire voters picked the eventual Democratic presidential nominee was in 2004.
Fargo police officers and residents came together today to honor Officer Jason Mosier, who died in the line of duty 4 years ago at the age of 33. Mosier died from gunshot wounds from a man during a standoff in North Fargo. He served with the department for 6 years. Colleagues spoke about how much his sacrifice means, saying they will remember his legacy every day.
A lucky man from Center, North Dakota, won big Monday night on Wheel of Fortune. Andy Ryle auditioned for the show, and after 2 years of waiting, he finally had his moment in the spotlight. He has been watching the show for about 40 years, and when he finally received the call to be a contestant, he took advantage of this once-in-a-lifetime shot at spinning the wheel and won $10,000.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with no wait weather.
All right, our wintry weather is about to become a lot more wintry as we've enjoyed temperatures in the 20s to near 30 today. In fact, we're still in that temperature range here at 27 in Fargo. Go just north of Winnipeg, north of Lake Winnipeg. We're seeing some temperatures that are ridiculously cold. That's heading our way. In the meantime, we're going to have some nasty morning commute conditions. Snow is already beginning, and overnight that will continue, but the wind picks up between 2 a.m. and daybreak, causing gusts of 40 to 50 miles per hour, blowing and drifting snow. Not a lot of snow, 1 to 4 inches as a rule. And that's going to blow all over the place, making it hard to see. The one thing we will all contend with is brutal temperature falls throughout the day. That air's going to first hit the northern valley and then throughout the day work its way southward, causing dangerous wind chills late in the day. Here's the snow near Lake Winnipeg and south into the northern Red River Valley. We do have some snow showers out and around the capital city area. As we take a look at your current conditions at Hector, 27 degrees. Wind from the south. It's blowing at 13 miles per hour. Everybody still in the 25 to 31 degree range. 31 in Jamestown. Get out and walk the dog and do the same thing in Sisseton. We have beautiful conditions now. Things will get a little less beautiful as we go through the overnight. Here's how south winds continue. Snow band moves down. As we start the 3 a.m. hour, it will be pushing through Fargo-Moorhead, and it'll be ending up north. So your snowfall up north will be done before daybreak, and temperatures will already be below zero there while we're still in that 25 to 30 degree range down south. What a temperature spread, and it only gets worse. Now, notice the strongest winds are where the arrows are more colorful. So we go through the mid-morning hours. The gusty winds will work their way from the northern valley to the southern valley, gusts over 50 miles per hour. And the snow will begin blowing and drifting around, causing reduced visibilities. Even after the snowfall stops, we think what's going to be left on the ground will blow around throughout the day, causing difficult travel conditions. So by daybreak, it does look like the snow will be pushing out of the valley, and by late morning, it's out of here altogether with clearing skies. But the wind's still blowing in the midday hour with gusts over 40 miles per hour. Again, it's going to be difficult travel at this point, even though inside the city limits, the visibility may be pretty good. Out in rural areas, it may not be. Everyone will see temperatures falling throughout the day, and in the late afternoon and evening hours will be in the teens to 20s below, 20 to 35 below across the valley for your Thursday morning. Here is a look. Less snow up north, but down to the south, an inch or two, isolated, could see 2 or 3 inches of snow. hard to measure. It'll be blowing to South Dakota throughout the day with those gusty north winds. So the best chance at snow in Fargo first thing in the morning. There will be a lot of wind with it. It'll be near zero visibilities. The rough and tumble travel conditions continue as temperatures continue to plummet down below zero through the midday hours and the afternoon. By the evening, it's going to be dangerously cold outside. These are air temperatures, not wind chills. Wind chills will be between 35 and 55 below. As we go through the overnight hours, exposed skin can freeze in 5 to 10 minutes. You do not want to be caught outside in that. So tomorrow afternoon, the coldest air will be in the Northern Valley, teens below there. Single digits below down to the south with brutal wind chills all afternoon and evening long. There was the full moon this weekend. Jane capturing that. Thanks for uploading your photo. Now, it does get better after a brutal Thursday morning, 24 below in the FM area. Wind chills in the morning will be 50 below or better in places. Absolutely brutal. Then as we go through the day, we start a warming trend. We'll stay below zero in most locations on Thursday. But after a chilly morning on Valentine's Day, things are looking up and up. So your box of chocolates will not melt outside with a temperature of 11, but at least it won't be 30 below. And it gets even better as we go through the weekend with some 20s returning. So a short-lived slap in the face. We'll keep you updated here. It's going to have impacts first thing in the morning throughout the midday hours, and then the cold lasts into Thursday.
If you get a box of chocolates, right?
Right. Or a necktie.
Yeah, there you go. Or socks.
Right.